Check, check, check. 1, 2. What's up, everybody? I see 3 people watching. Five people. All right. We'll get ready here pretty soon. Just let the stream settle out. Make sure my auto transition fires here. Just a quick test. Hey, we got a 1 thumbs up here. What's going on here? I've got some weird stuff happening here at the Ecamm. There we go. I hope everybody's had a good Thanksgiving. There we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream show. Just a little stuff I've been working on. So just hitting the Ecamm up here, the Ecamm community up here on Thanksgiving evening. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. We weren't able to be with all of our family, but we had a small intimate with just our immediate family, and we missed out visiting with all of our kids and grandkids, but we were able to FaceTime and Zoom and do all that good stuff. So it is what it is. We just need it to get better, so we have to do the work. And so we stayed home today. We all ate, took a nap, and I was kind of wiped today because I stayed up till 1:40 in the morning, almost 2 o'clock in the morning on this Ecamm group. So there was a big group random kind of stream that popped up last night, and with Doc Rock and Diana was there, and it was just it was pretty cool. So Alicio did a great job, and it was like his first real stream, and he had like, God, there was like 9-10 people. It was crazy. It was a mess. It was a lot of fun. And so one of the things I'm trying to commit to is doing more content regularly. And I think the big challenge is always finding out who you are and what you want to talk about. I could do anything from tech, like say Doc Rock, and everybody's doing kind of like the live streaming pro kind of thing on how to stream. My background's in production and advertising, marketing. I'm still trying to find my zone. But one of the things that I am starting a beer show called Beer Utopia. I ran that back in 2006, kind of became semi-famous, and getting back to that. So it's just a craft beer show, talk about craft beer, taste craft beer. It'd be a lot of fun. And then I do game. It's Big Daddy Gaming on Facebook, and that's just a complete gaming channel where I stream me playing games. I'm terrible at playing games, but I love it, have fun. So that's just making more content. And then this is something I decided also to do, is the stream show. So last night when I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning streaming with all these people in Ecamm and all of the community, has really touched me. Like, everybody is just trying to lift each other up. So the stream show is just that. It's going to be me talking about streaming. I want to interview some of you guys. I want to lift each other up. I want to get to know everybody a little bit more. So going forward, I'd love to interview some people, and we'll set some stuff up. Right now, I'm not really on any kind of schedule. I know we're trying to do Vlogmas, and everybody's trying to do something every day. And so I did an hour on my gaming channel. I'll do a few minutes here just to say hello to everybody. And I just loved last night. I love meeting everybody. I love the hustle. I love that everybody is trying to help each other out. And it's really, really inspiring, right? I don't know that there's a lot of groups like this where everybody's just trying to help each other out, right? So my two thoughts as I kind of get into this group, I kind of want to give a little bit to the group. So my background is 2006, 2007, somewhere around in there. Twitter just came out. I wasn't even a Facebook member yet. I think I was on something called Pounce, which was way before Twitter. I guess it was about the same time as Twitter. I spent a year trying to build a internet TV station. Basically, I spent my wife was working. She had a good job, so we made it. I got accepted into a program by our state to help innovation, and I had consultants and business partners and business plans. So I quit my job for a year, thanks to my wife, and she helped. She's a video production expert herself. So we tried to start doing this, back in 2006, 2007. At that time, I was paying $500 a month to stream. It wasn't free like it is now. So got kind of successful, got some sponsors, traveled, actually got flown into Denver to do a big live streaming like this for Beer Utopia, which is our beer show. And then the recession hit, everything kind of went flat, and I kind of got away from it. We ended up running our own ad agency, me and my wife. We had an ad agency. We did video production, social media work for ourselves for about 10 years. Closed that down, and I got a little burnt out, and I went back into the workforce. So my wife is now a senior video producer for an ad agency. I'm a marketing director for a credit union. But streaming is what I love. I love this. I love having a show. I used to have a show on broadcast TV when I ran a TV station, and had a boss, and I was kind of I ran production. I had about 20 guys working for me. We ran stations all across the United States, and had a boss that had a live show. So I was his technical director every night live. And it was like a Jerry Springer-esque show called No Confessions. And I just liked it. I mean, I love the live production, the hustle, the bustle. And he would always say, if you want your own show, make it. So one of the things I love about the technology today is just make it. You can, Ecamm's fairly cheap. You can get some cheap cameras. I know everybody here is trying to have the best equipment. I have the equipment that I bought when I had my production company, so it's still high def, good quality equipment. So I'm not trying to get on with all of the newfangled stuff until I can afford it. So I'm trying to be thoughtful about how I grow my business. But I think what I found out is for myself, and what the Vlogmas and what everybody's trying to do with that is consistency, is just putting stuff out there, throwing spaghetti against the wall until it sticks, right? So my plan is I've got 3 things I like. I like the beer show, which I already have all the opens and bumps, and I know that business. I know the space. I have connections in the industry, so I'll start doing some interviews, and really it's just tasting craft beer. So it's just a lot of fun. I'm not going to try to put a lot of stress on myself that I have to get so many thousands of viewers. So going to push that out. I love the gaming stuff. It's just, as a marketer, gaming is huge, esports, gaming. So I'm trying to just get into that. I have a lot of connections in the industry. I live in Little Rock, Arkansas, so I'm isolated from everything that's cool, right, on all the coasts. But through LinkedIn, I've been able to connect with everyone, a lot of people in the industry, not everyone, but a good example, I was messaging the other day with the CEO of Logitech, right? So I kind of want to have a forum where I can talk to some of these people that I know, and that's what the stream show is going to be. Just stream of conscious, streaming, tech, marketing. And I mean, my gut tells me that post-COVID, this is the medium. This is the future. This is what businesses need to do, right? And so for us as content creators, what you have to realize is when you work in a business, you want to do it, you should be doing it, but you don't have the staff, you don't want to get in front of the camera. So being a content creator is going to be huge, because at some point they're going to be hiring us, right? Hiring us to say, hey, we love what you do. Can you bring our brand into it? So that's part of my scenario. I would love to be like I don't know if any of you watch Gary Vaynerchuk, kind of like a Gary Vaynerchuk person. I think less yelling and screaming and, in your face. I'm also a big fan of Seth Godin. I've been reading his books forever. And I just turned 50 this year. I've been in the industry a long time. I'd love to share some stuff with everybody. But I think this is, for me, this is what I'm going to focus some time on. So some of the things, I'll just show you guys real quick, some of the things I'm going to try to do a little bit different. Let's see. Let's see if we can bring this up here. So, let's see. I'm also been a developer of, I do websites, and well, let me add another scene here in Ecamm. Boom. Come on, Ecamm. Work with me here. And so I've tried a lot. I was using Wirecast back in the day. And what I really love about Ecamm is the community. Literally, I was up till 2 in the morning last night with a bunch of crazy people here talking. But everybody's trying to help each other out. So that was so cool. So what I'm doing a little different. Got to have a brand, right? And so I'm building out a WordPress website right now, and it is going to be, hey, Juan, aloha. What's up? Man, you guys, you do some great 3D stuff. I don't know what you're using. I think, is it Cinema 4D? some of the stuff you're doing looks amazing. So building this website out, I'm going to have all my shows listed here. This is Beer Utopia. And, I got a little intro there. You can't see anything there because I don't have well, it should be a live video there. But so what I did is I did an embed for Facebook. So whenever I go live, it will show right there. And then I'll have all the episodes here. So, and I just decided I'm sticking with one YouTube channel and putting everything up there. And then I'll segment it on, YouTube, and trying to automate some of that stuff. But just to get it to a website that I can control and communicate. And I think, a lot of the things that I found is I listen to everybody talk. We all, everybody's got the great camera, everybody got the great audio. It's about finding who you are. Who are you, in this world? Who are you going to be? What are you going to do? Like June here is great at 3D. He's got some good stuff going on. Bradley's doing some great stuff with his, showing you how to do all the graphics and everything. Doc Rock's showing a lot of stuff. Everybody's doing some great stuff, and I'm really excited about this group, and I hope we can all work forward to lift each other up and do better. Ecamm's been great so far. I'm behind the curve on the Macs. I've had this 2012 MacBook Pro since, it's 2012. It's old, but it's done a lot of work. Mac has made me a lot of money over the years, editing videos and stuff. So, and I took a break from video editing and production and all of this mess because I just got a little burnout. But I'm ready to jump back in, be creative, and create with all of you guys. I think, like I said last night, hanging out with everybody, and everybody was so nice. Everybody is so welcoming and wanted to lift each other up, and that's rare in today's society. So, and I've always said I've got friends that back in the day that I'm still friends with. We were on a group called Seismic. Alicio, hey buddy, what's up? Great looking website too. Thanks. It's still a work in progress, but it's coming together. I said I've had ups and downs in this whole industry, and I kind of, probably say 2008. What happened is I spent a year trying to raise money to become the next big internet sensation. And a bunch of old guys told me that YouTube would never be anything, right? So I was right, they were wrong, but I never got the money. So I've had this pent-up frustration to get back to it. So technology is so simple today compared to back then. Like I said, I did the Beer Utopia show, we got sponsored, but it was everything I could do. I had to pay for all of the streaming. It was like $500 a month, and now everything's free. I can stream from my phone in 4K and all that stuff live. Back then it was a flip camera. That was the coolest thing, right? Flip cameras, and you had to go home and upload it. And Twitter was new. Everything was new, and it was exciting. And then I got kind of overwhelmed, and life happens and all that other stuff. So, but now I'm just like, 2020 has let me focus and say, you know what? I've got a good job. I enjoy what I do. I actually do a live stream show I work for a credit union, so I convinced them to let me do a show, but I'm using StreamYard because we're kind of PC based, and it's easy. It works. It's before Ecamm had the interview function, and one of the things that stressed me out about the job is they wouldn't let me have a Mac. So, how old am I is the question. Let's pull these up here. I got to be better about clicking on this. How old am I? I am 50. 50 years old. Turned 50 in May. So you got it, Alicio. 50. So I'm not going to say it's a midlife crisis, but yeah, it's a midlife crisis. When you're working in the industry and you're kind of ahead of the game, when I was in, you have all that energy, right? When you're young and you're starting companies, and I had young kids, and, we're just blowing and going. And we just, I kind of you kind of get in a, I kind of got in a rut, right? So we had our own company, everything was going great, and things happened, and kind of stepped away for a little bit, and I can't. Doc Rock was talking about some of this last night. It's kind of like imposter syndrome. You don't know if you're good enough. You're always second guessing yourself, especially in the creative industry. And all you young players today are coming up with, you got 4K and gimbals and all that stuff didn't exist. You know, when the camera I'm using right now is a $6,000 Panasonic. Back in the day, it was $6,000. It's a ENG style camera to use for video production. You know, now today it's just a 1080p camera, but it still looks good and it works good, XLR and all that stuff. But so, you know, you kind of hit that stagnant area that, and then everybody's succeeding, everybody's doing well, and you know, all this technology. Like, I was a player back in the day, so now you want to come back and I say, oh, Hector, be encouraged, man. This awesome community. Yes, this is an awesome community. Have your back and wants to help you succeed. And I think for me, it's trying to find your lane, right? Is what do you want to be? So what do you want to be a consultant? I mean, I consult on the side. I've done a lot of that stuff. Let's see. Plus, there's no need to be doing the same thing for the rest of your life, especially if you're creative. So one of the things that's hard is when I started an agency, we made really good money, but then you really are kind of your clients are the boss, you know. And so even though you come in with the most experience and they hire you because they love your creativity and, you know, you're doing all this cool stuff and they're like, oh, we like that. But then you put it all out there and you're trying to make your clients happy. Like, well, I think it'd be better if we did this. So, yeah, then pretty much you're a slave to your clients. So the goal is always to be your own self, right? I think one theme that I see here with everybody is we all want to be kind of, you know, a little bit of financial freedom, creative freedom, and do what we do and have people appreciate it for us. So my goal is, you know, we talked about Vlogmas and some people are going to do 30 videos or get so many views or get so many this or that. I've got notebooks and notebooks full of plans and things I should do and want to do, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to start doing this. When we did Beer Utopia, I had the idea to say I'd do a beer show. My wife came up with the name. She bought the domain. I launched the website the next day. I had episode after episode after episode. By episode 6, I had a sponsorship from a region, you know, from a national brewery. By episode 20, they were flying us into Denver, Colorado for the Great American Beer Festival. I had lunch with the heads of marketing for Budweiser. I mean, it was just boom, 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 boom. And then the recession hit and it just fell. I mean, it just fell. And then you start second guessing and second guessing and second guessing. And, you know, people lost their jobs and I lost my contacts and I just couldn't keep the churn of keeping this stuff going. So I had to drop it. But I think if I look back, I mean, we only had 20 episodes. It wasn't 30 like Doc's talking about, 30, 31, 35, 40. You don't even get famous, or not famous, but you don't even get traction to your 100. I don't know if anybody watches Gary Vaynerchuk. So that's a funny story for me because at the time I'd started my beer show the same time Gary Vaynerchuk started his very first wine show. And I thought, you know, we had better content than him at that time. If I could have stayed with it, maybe, you know, I could have been the next Gary Vaynerchuk. But, you know, you can't. I'm trying not to dwell on the past or the failures, but to move forward. So I have all these things and skill and things I want to do. I built this studio. I have all this extra equipment that was just sitting around. Put the studio together. Now I have the space. I'm just slowly working on the lighting and the paint and the backdrops and the microphones and all that other stuff, and just going to keep moving forward. So, you know, one step at a time. The only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time, right? So you guys are great. This community is great. If you need anything from me, let me know. I'd love to help anybody and everybody when we can. I don't know if I can stay up till 2 a.m. every night, though. You guys are crazy. So All right. Does this count for my Vlogmas? If I keep putting this out there? I guess I should hashtag it and all that stuff. But this stream is the community here, and I don't repost it to Facebook, so, or to YouTube. What's up, James? James is up. Should have been up last night. It was a pretty cool party. Process is part of the fun, if you ask me. It is the process. So here's what I found is when you're in, when you're in the middle of it is the best part. So I ran a production studio. I had like 20 guys. We had 20, 30 stations around the United States, and I was just, my hair was on fire the whole time. And I had a boss that would not give me any time. He'd be like, I need you to launch a new show next week. So I'd work with my producers, and back then it was all the Cheese Grater Max, with Final Cut Pro, and we just hammer out a show. I mean, we were just throwing stuff out there. And and when you're in that zone is when you're the most happy. I don't know if anybody's ever done me and my wife have done. My wife has done more production than I have. She's worked for a big production company. She's done the History Channel. Man, it was a crazy line. Yeah, good information. That's right, James. It was crazy. She worked for, she did stuff for History Channel. She shot for major production companies. Now she's a senior producer for a ad agency. So she knows her stuff. So we did the 48-hour film festival 2 years in a row. And if you've never done a 48-hour film festival, I suggest you do it. I don't know why everything's bouncing here. So if you've never done a 48-hour film festival, you need to do it. It's you have 48 hours to make a movie, and you draw all the ideas out of a hat, and you go with it. I don't know why my camera's bouncing. Hold on, guys. I'll try to fix that. So see if this will calm down here. What's going on? Hold on, I'm going to switch here. Maybe I'm just, for some reason, my camera is going a little wonky here. So it might be running too long. It's not an earthquake. Where I live in Arkansas, we don't have earthquakes. But it's on a tripod, and I'm on if I get excited, maybe I'm shaking it too much. But I don't know what's going on. That's weird. It's never happened before. It's weird. I don't know where I lost my train of thought now. So, 40-hour film festival. You just get in, you get it done. And when you're in the middle of it, you're working as hard as you can, and you do everything you can in 48 hours. You got to have a film, you got to push it out there, and you got to have a bunch of people, have your peers view it. And we won some awards. I've got them back here somewhere. I got to put them here in the background. So I'm going to do that. So of all the comments and all the stuff I've listened to everybody speak on here is just the hardest part is finding out who you are, finding out what you want to talk about, what value you can bring to the world. And I think it's okay to fail, and I think it's okay to put stuff out there and just figure it out, because you can think about it, you can plan for it, you can do all of the research, you can get all the gear, and I've done this my whole life. I've ran cables, I've run satellite trucks, I've done all this. And it wasn't until Alicio helped me test out my interview part of Ecamm that I realized I need one more cable to push through the soundboard to get audio into my ear and not get loop back. So bought that cable that day, but I would have never found that if I just wouldn't have test live. So thank you guys for letting me test here. And June, where's your channel? I know you're doing all the 3D, but where's your channel at? I want to see that. I want to see you do tutorials on how you're doing all the 3D. I think that stuff's awesome. And James has got to get his channel up there more. I want to see his stuff. Earthquake. Not to distract you, but what camera? Does it have camera stabilization? It doesn't. It is a. Let me see if I can. I don't have another camera set up to show you what it is. Let me look it up real quick. Hold on. So what happens is I'm in a small shed outside behind my house, and maybe if I'm shaking, I got excited and was talking, it was shaking, but it seemed to settle out now. Let me see. It is an AGAF 100. Let me pull up my screen here. June. Oh, I lurk in the shadows right now. No, man, you got to get some. You got to get some stuff out there, man. You got to get that. I watched a lot of guys that show how to do 3D and stuff like that, and I think it's awesome. So this is the camera I have. It's, that's just hilarious that you can buy it now for $600, but back in the day it was like $6,000. And if you can see in the background here, over here, I've got a follow focus and matte box and all that cool stuff. And so it doesn't really have a lot of. The cool thing about this camera, other than except for explains a lot. Yeah, JK, just kidding. Oh yeah, you guys are all. Everyone's a Sony guy. Look at June's all dropping jokes. Explains a lot. Yeah, I'm not the Sony guy. Actually, I have a G7 4K DSLR that I was using, but I had to do I got asked by my kids' school to do a video for them, so I had to break it all down and do a honest to God on location video shoot. So broke down most of my studio to take my gear to do that shoot, and then when I did that, I decided I didn't want to have multiple cameras right now. I just want to focus on one. Since you're making your movement, trying to stabilize. It could be. Haven't had that problem before, so I don't know what was going on. It's been running all day, so you've never had a lot of trouble with this. But it looks like it settled out, so hopefully we won't have that issue again. I have had it on all day, so I need to maybe reboot everything before I start. So, June, what do you use? I guess, are you using Cinema 4D to do all the 3D stuff? Because I was, the funny thing is when I was in the Navy for 5 years, and I got out to go to college, and I wanted to do 3D animation, and they didn't really have the computers then that in the school that I went to here and at the college I went to, so they talked me into going into sculpture and painting. So I am a sculptor and painter major, and they said that you could always learn the software later, and I tried 100 times. I learned Final Cut. I've learned every software, but I used to play with Cinema 4D for a while. But 3D was something, for some reason, it was hard to get my head around. And I just didn't have the time to focus because I was, Final Cut, After Effects, Photoshop, Illustrator. I do a lot of print stuff, InDesign. And I had a friend that was really good at 3D Studio Max, so he did all my 3D stuff, so I would just hire him. But now I'm trying to get back into Blender. But I did see Motion. I haven't used Motion since it was like 1 or 2, but I was looking at it today and I was going to buy it because it's only $50. It has 3D, and I haven't really messed with. Is anybody messed with the 3D in Motion? I don't know if it's any good, but like the rotating logos and stuff that you're doing, June. Do you how much do you charge for that? I mean, I think that's a skill that you should be out on Fiverr, or at least in this group, making some rotating logos for people. So that's really cool. System in 1990. Then SGI and Alias Wavefront in the late 90s. So how old are you? You've been at this game a minute. Alias Wavefront, I haven't heard that in a long time. SGI. When I first got into all of this, I was in college, and I learned to cut video reel to reel on tape, but we had a Avid, and I just hated the Avid, and we put in a brand new library, and they had Final Cut Pro 1, just came out, And nobody was using it, and I asked to use it, and I learned how to do Final Cut. And then, a couple years later, I was building Final Cut Pro machines for broadcast stations here in Little Rock, Arkansas. And then and that and Premiere Pro. But yeah, back in the day, you had to spend it was, and I guess that's why I never really got into 3D. It was $30,000-$40,000 to get a machine back then. Now you can do it with your phone, and you can scan, and you can do, face tracking and all the other stuff. Brent, you should bring. Well, if he's ready to come in as a guest, I will gladly share it to him. If you want to come in as a guest, June, let me know. I will message you the link. 47, almost 48. So you're old. Look at that. You're old. That's not old. 50's the new 30, right? That's what I'm thinking. If you're all set up, June, let me know. I'll bring you in. Or James. I need to test all this interview stuff anyway. Hold on just a second. I'm going to turn something off back here. Maybe some other time. Maybe someday. June's a lurker. Gotta have that. You can have a show where you just do tutorials and not ever come, on screen. So I know some of my wife's that way. So my wife she's been in video for her whole life and went to college, and she's doing it now, and she just does not like to be in front of the camera. Great photographer. She's great at interviewing people. She just does not like to be in front of the camera. Not to throw you under the bus. Well, I think we all have to get pushed a little bit, right? And I think that's I'm out here right now just because I got inspired last night that everybody's out there hustling. Everybody's hustling. Everybody's trying. I think that I got a comment from Doc today, was because I was the only white guy in the whole thing, and he's posted something on Instagram, and it was freaking hilarious. And I was showing my wife, I was like, my online friends are way cooler than my real friends. He's cool, James. I probably should show up on Doc's live first. Oh, yeah. Doc might be upset. Yep, you probably should. So, that's awesome. And that was really cool last night. You had people from Philadelphia. I'm here in Little Rock. You guys are in Hawaii. You're in Hawaii, right, June? I don't know. Where are you at, James? You guys are great. I got to jump off. See you guys later. All right, June, thanks a lot. I appreciate everybody popping in and saying hello and supporting each other. Let's see how long we've been doing this now. I've been out here for 38 minutes. It's 12, almost 12:30, so I need to jump out too. I have to go to work tomorrow. I'm working from home. Yeah, June's from Hawaii. My daughter really wants to go to Hawaii. We got LA. We got Florida in the house. So I've never been to Hawaii. I would love to, but I am quarter Filipino. So I know there's a lot of Filipinos out there. Los Angeles, my best friend from high school. We only talk once a year, but we're brothers. We just pick that right up. He's lived in LA forever and haven't been able to come. I've never been able to go out and see him. But I would love to go out and see him in LA. And then Florida, I went to Navy boot camp in Orlando, Florida. And we went to Navy dive school in Panama City. And when we take vacations, we go down to the panhandle of Florida. So everyone is everywhere. That's awesome. So I appreciate you guys. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I'm going to kind of sign off here. And it's a really cool place. LA, yeah, I've just never been. Orlando. Man, I remember I was 18, come from Podunk town here in Arkansas, and got on a bus and next thing you know, I was on a plane. Next thing you know, I was in Orlando, Florida, because that's where boot camp was. And I can remember a friend of mine, he was 21, or he was of age, right? And I wasn't. And we still had to wear uniforms. And back then, it was a Cracker Jack, Navy, whites, And we went to a place called Church Street Station in Orlando. And I went to my first kind of club, and I was just blown away. And I spent a lot of time in my youth at clubs in Florida, Daytona Beach, Panama City. That was kind of my life back then. But I was young and in the Navy and having a good time. So Orlando was great. I really liked Orlando. It rains every day at 5 o'clock, if I remember right. You have a beautiful day. It rains for about 15 minutes every day at 5 o'clock, somewhere in there in the afternoon. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for listening to me and hanging out with me. I'm going to try to do one of these every day, like the Vlogmas. They won't all be here. They're on my different channels. Let's see. So I'll show some of these. Church Street Center Spot. Is the center spot? Is it still there? That's crazy. So I'll show you some stuff here. If let's see. Let me go to my pages here. So here are my pages. If you want to check me out on other things, or if you'd give me a follow. Yeah, thanks. Be safe. Big Daddy Gaming. That's where I do my video game show, and it's really just me playing video games. So it's kind of hard playing video games and doing live and talking and being entertaining and all that stuff. So that's really, really cool. Let's see other pages here. And Beer Utopia, of course, is my craft beer show, which I did my first test episode last night. And I've had this show for a while, so I'm just trying to get back on track with that one. And I know it's crazy. I shouldn't be starting all these shows at once, and the stream show. So that's what I'm going to be kind of playing with a lot. This is just my free-for-all stream of conscious show. Big Daddy Gaming. So the funny thing about Big Daddy Gaming is so we had grandkids. I got a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old grandson and a granddaughter. And my wife does marathons, and she's like super tiny, but she loves the Fox and the Hound from Disney, and she wanted to be called Big Mama as her grandma name. So I wanted to be Big Daddy. So Big Daddy is who I am. That's kind of authentic. And so the Big Daddy Gaming channel is for adult, older males that still want, it could be for women too, for parents that love to game, that, we started the gaming culture with Pong and arcades and Nintendo and Street Fighter and all that cool stuff. And then it just launched to where it is today. And, don't leave us out. Don't count us out. So if you're a gamer and you're an adult gamer, follow me at Big Daddy Gaming. I'm trying to get a group, as we get launched, I'm trying to get more and more people to watch. I would love to get a group of people that want them to play together. So, if you're going to do a Call of Duty team, you'd rather have a bunch of adult men or women with you instead of a 10-year-old kid that's cussing you out. So that's hilarious. So, all right. Peace, guys. I'm out. Thank you for joining me. We will see you. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Got to see your family. Hope everybody social distance, wear your mask, wash your hands, do all that stuff. We're going to get through COVID. 2021 is going to be better than 2020. We're all going to kill it in 2021 because I'm telling you, the Dow Jones went up 30,000. It was made a record. After Joe Biden, they got their, not to be political, but after they released the money to Joe Biden to take over, the Dow goes up. I think after the inauguration, things will just start sailing upwards. We'll get the vaccine, and all of these companies that have been saving their money and not doing marketing and pulling everything back are going to be trying to just explode. And so us content creators are going to be in high demand. So keep up what you're doing. Follow me. I am Brant Collins. You can find me on Facebook at Brant Collins. I'll get graphics made with all my emails and stuff. But follow me, message me if you need any help. Let me know if I can help in any way. I would love to. So you guys have a great evening. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you probably tomorrow.